In May 2013, Manchester United stood top of English football. Sir Alex Ferguson had just delivered the club's 20th league title. The future looked stable, the squad was experienced, the winning mentality was still there. Then Ferguson retired. What followed wasn't just a transition, it was 13 years of instability, identity crisis, false dawns and broken promises. This is the story of Manchester United's fall from grace and why there is finally hope again. Since 2013, Manchester United have gone through manager after manager, each one promising a rebuild and each one ultimately falling short. David Moyes inherited champions, but the aura disappeared almost instantly. The football became cautious, confidence drained, and Manchester United dropped from 1st to 7th in one single season. And then came Louis van Gaal. He brought structure and possession football. He delivered an FA Cup, but the style was slow and predictable, and United never looked like genuine title contenders. And then it was time for the special one, Jose Mourinho. He restored trophies, Europa League, League Cup, Community Shield, and even finished second in the league. But the football was pragmatic, the dressing room was fractured, and the project collapsed under tension, just like other times at other clubs under Jose Mourinho. So I guess it came time for United to bring back a legend, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He brought the emotion back, counter-attacking football, youth promotion, memorable nights like the PSG comeback. Fans believed again. United finished second and reached a Europa League final, but still no trophy and no real title push. And let's not forget Ralf Rangnick. He exposed the deeper issues. He called out for open heart surgery.
This is, in medicine you would see, this is an operation at the open heart.
Highlighting poor recruitment, lack of structure, and no long-term direction. And ultimately, this is what probably led him to leaving the club. And then Manchester United took a real different direction. They went with Erik ten Hag, a man with a reputation before he came. Erik ten Hag brought discipline and silverware again, winning domestic cups and trying to implement a pressing style. But still, inconsistencies in the league remained. Heavy defeats followed, and United still never mounted a serious title challenge. And now we come to Ruben Amorim. The cool option, the one that we thought was the one. The guy that had a way that not even the Pope could change. Admittedly, he brought in a realism that we needed. Got rid of players that didn't fit into the club system anymore. But for all his inadequacies, he had a way, a style. But sadly, that style wasn't the United way. So, different managers, different philosophies, different styles. Possession football, defensive football, counter-attacking football. And let's not forget, high pressing. Oh, and 3-4-3. But one constant remained. No identity, no continuity, and no sustained challenge for the Premier League. For 13 years, Manchester United were just rebuilding, year after year. Behind all of this, frustration grew. Fans protested against the ownership. The debt remained, infrastructure aged, and recruitment lacked cohesion. Managers came and went, but the structure above them stayed the same. And supporters felt let down again and again. Every time United returned, it faded. Second place finishes, cup wins, big signings, good runs of form. Each moment felt like the turning point, but it never lasted. The club kept resetting. Until now. Things began to change when the football structure started to shift. After a long-winded, confusing sell process, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's INEOS took over 25% of Manchester United. He brought in experienced people from the sporting world and serenaded us with fancy words like marginal gains. Within months of their tenure, controversy followed with a footballing restructure. Something that we needed due to the mismanagement under Ed Woodward and Richard Arnold. However, this led to staff redundancies and the embarrassment of the Dan Ashworth saga. But at least something was changing for the good. Player recruitment. Since they have joined, United have recruited players that make sense. Cunha, Mbeumo, Sesko, a front line that could play in most United eras. Youth recruitment has been pretty impressive, with the much coveted Lenny Yoro and Aidan Heaven, two centre-backs that have the potential to become a partnership of the future. And let's not forget about a position that has haunted United for years, the goalkeeper position. Senna Le Mans looks and plays with composure and consistency. That's all we really wanted. So, decision-making moved towards footballing experts. Jason Wilcox is leading the football overhaul and creating a football structure. Long-term planning became the focus. The rebuild finally started from the top. This isn't just about getting another manager. This was a structural reset. So is it a time for hope now? Well, one of the most encouraging signs is the presence of football minds who understand the club. Michael Carrick represents the bridge between Manchester United's past and possible future. Calm, intelligent, tactically aware, someone who understands both the standards of the Ferguson era and the demands of the modern game. Not just nostalgia, but continuity. A football approach, a clear identity, a proper structure forming behind the scenes. And the backroom team that includes a highly respected and experienced coach in Steve Holland, things are making sense. For the first time in years, it feels coherent. So why does this feel different? The team is unified, the football is improving, the atmosphere is positive and the fans are reconnecting. And most importantly, the team is likeable again. That's energy, that's fight, there's belief. And the results are starting to follow. So the return of hope? I guess so. After 13 years of false dawns, this doesn't feel like another one. This feels like a foundation, a clear direction, a positive structure, a united club. Champions League football should be back next season. Momentum is building, confidence is returning, Old Trafford believes again. So 13 years of instability, 13 years of resets, and 13 years of frustration? Remember, great clubs don't disappear, they rebuild. And now, the structure is stronger, the team is growing, the fans believe again. The fall lasted 13 years, but the rise starts now.